If you're like me and love looking at maps, you may have stumbled upon Europe before the Second World War. But wait, what's this? Why has Germany got a bit bigger? And what's this bit over here? The German expansion you see before you was not an act of war, but actually a negotiated annexation between both Germany and its later enemies of the Allies, and it was known as the Anschluss. Following Hitler's rise to power in 1933, Nazi popularity in Austria was almost as high as it was in Germany. Due to the similar culture and militaristic history of the two countries, the Nazi Party appealed to many looking for a better way of life, with the horrors of the First World War still fresh in their minds. In 1934, the Nazis plotted an assassination attempt on the Austrian Prime Minister in hope to destabilise the government and set up a Nazi regime in the country. However, this failed. Although regardless of this, Nazi support in Austria remained high up until 1938, and due to Hitler's rearmament schemes and increased military spending, as well as the alliance with fascist Italy, Austria was vulnerable and surrounded by two major superpowers, so annexation was inevitable. Hitler's overall goal as Führer was to create a 1,000-year Reich that would dominate Europe. He saw this to start with Austria. However, unlike the devastating bombings and blitzkriegs used on countries such as Poland, the Nazis offered a nationwide vote across Austria, inviting them to join the Reich under one German flag. This vote was held on the 13th of March 1938, with an outstanding statistic of 99% of Austrians voting in favour of the annexation. Now that Austria was under Nazi control, Hitler turned to Czechoslovakia, of which modern-day Czechia was completely surrounded by Germany. Hitler's next target was the northern part of Czechoslovakia, known as the Sudetenland, as a majority of the population was ethnically German. Hitler knew that the Allied leaders did not want war, and would likely appease his demands to prevent it, so demanded control over the Sudetenland or threatened to start a war over the annex. Allied leaders met in Munich to discuss the situation in September 1938, and later both British and French leaders approved the German succession plan in an exchange for world peace. However, there was no Czech representative during this discussion. Germany now controlled the Sudetenland and could advance its army into it without resistance from those living there. And just like that, Germany had expanded its borders to the ones that you see now, and Hitler learned that to claim what he wants, all he had to do was disturb and threaten the peace. However, on the 1st of September 1939, Hitler broke the peace entirely and invaded Poland. I think you know the rest.